Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today is going to be the state of my collection. Now, a lot has changed since the last one. I'll try and put a little clip in of what it was like before so you can all see, but it was definitely way too many, and I really shrunk it down. I'm going to tell you my plans for the collection as well, what's going to change, what's going to stay, so I hope you all enjoy. So let's just jump straight into this. There's a lot to cover and a lot to go over, as you can see. My collection has changed quite a bit from my last day of the collection, which was quite a while ago. I'll put a couple of pictures up on screen as I'm talking right now, just of what the collection used to look like and how much it's changed. But what you see here is where it stands at the moment, and it's not going to stay like this more than likely, because a lot of these pieces, actually not a lot, but a few of these pieces I will be getting rid of, like this Zenith right here, which we'll move on to. But where to really start, I don't actually know. There's a lot here, so what we'll do, we'll start with the Casios at the top, because they're watches that I think I've probably wore once each, and I just have them in my collection because they're accurate quartz watches, and it just makes it easier to time all the rest of them, but also because you need a Casio in your collection. So the first one is this one right here. I don't really know the reference numbers of all these, but what I will do, actually, I will put them in the description, so I'll take the time after the video, and also I'll put them probably on screen. But this is a really cool one. I paid £15 for this in H. Samuel's when I popped back to Leicester to see my dad. And that wasn't too long ago, and I bought it after looking at a £50,000 Patek in a store, so I thought it was just quite funny to look at a £50,000 Patek that I could not even dream of owning anytime soon, and then go buy a £15 Casio, which does everything that Patek does, but more accurately. So really cool watch. It works really well on the wrist, and it looks pretty damn good as well, and I wanted an all black watch, and this definitely ticks that box for me, so very cool watch. Does the job. Okay, my next Casio is a digital Casio. It is one of their illuminators, as it's called. So when you push down the light, the whole screen lights up instead of one corner, which the older Casios have. It just reminds me of when I was younger. I used to have a watch like this. I used to wear it to school, and also my first job when I worked at Aldi, I used to wear a little Casio like this. Okay, now that the two Casios are out of the way, let me get on to these three sort of not really watches that I have. So for those of you that don't know, Oris is a big part of my collection. It was my first true Swiss watch, this one right here, and I've owned quite a few Orises over the time as well. Not many modern ones, but a lot of vintage, and I just really love Oris. So I got myself this travel clock, an 8-day travel desk clock, which sits on the desk like so. It's got this lovely leather surround, and it's an alarm. That's what that is, and you can hear it jingling about as I move it. The only thing that's missing is the key. Now, I have tried the full sets of keys. I've bought 3 different sets which have like 50 keys on, and none of them will fit and wind this watch. So I have no clue. So if any of you guys have any suggestions or know anyone who's like an expert at clocks, then let me know and I can pass this along to them and see if they can figure it out. But it's a really, really cool one. Lovely sort of pointed syringe hands almost with actual loom, which is very strange, and it's got loom pips as well. But really cool little 8-day travel desk clock, which just goes well in the Oris collection. I also have an Oris pocket watch right here, which dates to the 70s or 80s, manual wound. And it's very, very loud. It's got a 7-jewel movement, and it's just all round a very, very nice watch in very good condition with blued hands. I've got another one of these actually in a little bag which isn't as good condition and isn't working, but I've kept it for spare parts because I think this is a pocket watch I'm going to probably keep for life. I'm not a pocket watch collector. I don't really know anything about pocket watches. I probably wouldn't even sell pocket watches, but it's just cool to have one in the collection. Let me know if you guys have any pocket watches. I know quite a few watch collectors who have a little collection of pocket watches on the side as well. But this one's just absolutely lovely, and it cost me barely anything on eBay, so you can't go wrong. The next thing is not even a watch, it's literally just a watch case. I found this on eBay super cheap. It's an Oris Junior Digital 17 jewel Swiss. So basically what this would be is a jumping hour. And I love jumping hour watches. I've owned a few, sold a few, but I've never seen an Oris one, so I'm quite interested to actually get this one built up, you know, see if I can find the movement and the dial and everything like that, and build a little jump hour watch from Oris. I think that'd be super cool. I probably won't be doing any of the building myself. I'll probably send it to David, the watchmaker, because I haven't got a clue. So if any of you guys know what movement would have been in here, or if you even have one, let me know and I'll happily buy it. So as we're on the theme of Oris, we might as well talk about my Oris, which is the Oris Artix-GT Day Date, a really, really lovely watch. For those of you that follow me on social media, you'll know I had a little bit of an issue with it recently. It completely stopped, but I sent it over to my watchmaker David, who got it running again, and now it is perfect. So I was lucky enough to have this as my first true Swiss watch, because it's a very reliable, very good Swiss watch overall. And Oris is a brand that, like I said, I really respect. I think they offer some of the best value for money in modern watches and also in vintage watches. I think you can get some really great ones, but the way this one looks on the wrist is just really, really nice. It suits me really well. 41mm, so it's not crazy big, but it's also not a small watch. Has a nice presence, a lovely black ceramic bezel with a white bit in the middle, I forgot what it's called, and a black dial as well. It just works really well, you know, suit, it just looks really, really good, especially with the alternate finishes of brushed and polished, and just with t-shirt and jeans. Like, this is an all-round watch. 100 meters water resistant. I shower with it, I swim with it, I've done lots of things with it. You really, really can't go wrong. It's gone to the beach with me, and it's just a perfect watch. If ever I go on holiday, usually this is a watch I take with me. I just like to take 1 or 2 watches, and this is the one that probably will stay on my wrist the most, even with my Tudor. So let's move on to the next watch. So as we're going in no order whatsoever, basically, we might as well go on to a watch that basically, well, it did start it all. For those of you that have been a subscriber to the channel for a while, you'll know what this is. It's a Citizen Eagle 7. I have spoken so highly of these since day one. This was actually my first true automatic watch, or my first proper automatic watch. Before this, I had a couple of watches. I had like modern Accurist and Secondas, but they were all quartz, and this was my first automatic that I paid £13 on eBay for. I do have the original bracelet, but I've swapped it out onto this aftermarket Jubilee. Just because the original was getting quite a bit of stretch now and quite a bit of bend, and it's not as comfortable to wear as it was. But I just love these little Citizen Eagle 7s. 36mm, reminds me of a Rolex Datejust, but this one is from 1970s, from the 1970s, so it's still a vintage watch, and it just looks absolutely great. Got to have a Japanese watch in the collection as well. Saying that, I have no Seikos in my collection whatsoever, which is quite rare. I feel like everyone on YouTube is like 10 Seikos. I've sold many Seikos and I've owned many Seikos in the past. I just have none that have held out in my collection, unfortunately. But this one, absolutely love. I think it's one of my few only white dials. And it just works really, really well. I love 36mm. So let's move on to the two down here, the two Secondas. So one is a Seconda and the other is a Ricchetta. Now, the story behind this one, you guys who have been subbed for a while will probably know. I had a bike accident, a pedal bike accident, and I was wearing this watch right here. I completely smashed it up, completely wrecked it. It was completely written off. And my dad, as a gift, bought me the Ricchetta to replace it, because it's essentially identical. And the movement in the Seconda is actually the Ricchetta movement. So Ricchetta made these watches for Seconda to distribute in the American and European market, which is what they did. So it's literally the same watch, which is really, really cool. And plus, the Seconda's got really cool patina, and it works really well. And made in USSR, as you can see at the bottom. So is this one. But one day, I lifted up the cracked crystal and the second hand started moving again. So the watch was actually still working after being completely destroyed. So I sent it over to David, who put a new crystal on it, gave it a polish up, and just got it working again. So it's now absolutely perfect, and I'm really, really happy with it. I barely wear it, and the reason for that is because both of these just sit in the safe, because they have quite a lot of meaning to me. You know, this is like a reminder to wear a helmet and not be an idiot. And this is also a gift from my dad, so they have a lot of meaning to me. And it's currently on a Nomos strap. I was very lucky that my friend who I bought the Oris off gave me the Nomos strap to keep, and it just works so well on this watch. Even though it just sits in the safe, and I probably should wear it more, especially considering it's got such a nice strap on it. But yeah, that's the two Secondas down there. So let's move on to the Revelo. Now, the way this collection is going to change is, like I said, I'm probably going to sell the the Zenith. I'll probably keep the rest. And I'm also going to be getting another Revelo. Now, it's actually for a video, so I won't say too much, other than it's their new chronograph range. Now, for those of you who don't know who Revelo is, I have done videos on them. Basically, it's a watch brand where you create your own watch. You get to choose your own design. Now, I've been in love with the Rolex Yachtmaster for as long as I can remember, and I chose this design based off that. As you can see, it's got a lovely blue dial, red secondhand steel bezel. and it just works really, really well. 42mm, and the case shape reminds me of an Omega. So it wears very well. Let's put it on. And I've owned this one for a very long time now. I think I've owned it for a year and a half, nearly 2 years, and it's not let me down once. It works really, really well, still accurate today, and although I don't wear it all too often, when I do, I really, really do enjoy it, because right now it's my only blue Dara watch. And also on the back, you can see it's got my name and date of birth engraved on there, and the Miyota 8200, I think that is. So yeah, very reliable, very cool movement. It doesn't have hacking, but it does have manual wound. I think actually it's the same movement that's in my Citizen Eagle 7, though I may be wrong. But yeah, very, very cool watch, and I cannot wait to show you guys the chronograph that's on the way. Okay, that leaves 2 watches left, so let's talk about the Tudor and then the Zenith. So the Tudor right here is the Tudor Black Bay 36. Now, you guys who have again been sub for a while would have seen my unboxing. I still need to get around to doing a full review of this watch. The reason I didn't was because I did a written one on my old website, but I'll probably do a proper video eventually. Now, this watch I have not been gentle with. I've treated it like the tool watch it is. You can see there's scratches all over the bracelet. The clasp is battered, but it survived relatively well. You know, I've completely busted up the bezel and everything like that. But this is a watch that I truly believe is a proper tool watch, and you should not be afraid to wear. 150 meters of water resistance. It's 36mm. It just works so well. It reminds me of a modern Rolex Explorer, 36mm Explorer. Obviously not the 49, because you'd just go get the 49mm. But a super cool watch running an ETA movement, so very reliable, easily serviced. So no issues there whatsoever, and I think value for money is insane. Right now, these retail price are £2,030, and I think even at that price, you're getting so much watch, so much brand as well for your money. I think it's really, really good. And I was having a conversation with someone recently about, you know, how battered this watch is, and they went, it gets to a point where you own watches and you look after them, you wear them very, very well, or you actually wear them as they're intended to be used, as watches, and once you get to that point, you then decide you're never going to sell it. So this is a watch that I have definitely decided I will probably never ever sell, so that is why I'm not afraid to wear it like this. Whereas some other watches I'll be more gentle with, that's because I may end up selling them one day. But it's a very good point. But really cool watch. Probably one of my favorites. In all honesty, it's torn all the time between the Tudor and the Oris. I'll switch between the two very, very regularly, and in all honesty, I think they're the 2 watches that probably get the most. Actually, they're pretty much the only 2 watches I really wear, which is quite sad because I have some really lovely watches. But that's how collections go a lot of the time. You guys and girls who are watch collectors, you know exactly how that is. Okay, final watch, because I am truly rambling, very sorry, is the Zenith Defy Automatic. Absolutely beautiful watch. You know, integrated bracelet. It really reminds me of a Royal Oak or a Nautilus, but the great thing is this actually, well, not this specific watch, this is from the 70s, but the Defy range actually predates the Royal Oak. It was not founded, but the first Defy was released in 1972, which is really, really cool. This one has still got the Oris crown, everything like that. Original crystal that it first had, which means it has got scratches and a few chips, but nothing major. And the movement inside here, I believe, is the Zenith caliber 2572, if I remember correctly. I might have got all my numbers mixed up. But I will be selling this one, as I said. Now, the reason being, I feel like it just doesn't get enough wrist time, and for a watch this nice, I feel like I've got to sell it. I owned it for quite a while, and I definitely wore it tons whilst my Oris was away for service, but now I really don't wear it enough to justify owning it, especially such a lovely watch. Like I said, I just want it to be passed along and for someone else to enjoy it. So if you guys are interested in this, do throw me an email. It's not listed on the website currently, but will be eventually. So that's the current state of the collection. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think I should change. In regards to what I'm going for next, I genuinely don't know. With me buying and selling so many watches now, and having the privilege really to have so many watches past my desk on a daily basis, I don't really get the craving as much to buy new watches. Whereas before, it used to be a case of like, I hadn't had a new watch in my hands for for a while, and I used to be like, I need a new watch, I need to itch that scratch. But now it's just constant. So in terms of my actual collection, I'm very happy with just these 2 watches, to be completely honest. But I think eventually I will go for an Omega and probably a Rolex as well. So I think I'm in the waiting phase. I think I'm happy enough with what I have to just hold out, build up a huge, well not huge, but a large sum of money to drop on a watch. I think that's where I'm at. Let me know what you guys think, let me know what you guys would change, and let me know what you guys and girls would add. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.